I call mother-in-law and confront her about going through my personal belongings, and she flips about the pipe. She goes on about me being a druggie and her son deserves better. I lost my cool just then and threw it in her face that the pipe belonged to her son, and if she wasn't such a control freak about his choices in life she'd know that.
Pow! I don't know what the that was.
Hello there, Reddita here. Today we got not one, not two, but 3 Reddit stories for you today in a Friday triple header special, because I'm a moron who somehow set Wednesday's video to premiere at midnight Thursday, and then no one got the notification and now I'm rambling, because that makes sense.
Get on with it!
Sweet baby Jesus in heaven. Alright anyway, if you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. And if you don't, I mean come on, sub anyway. Alrighty then. On with the video, enjoy. r/JustNo mother-in-law. Dear husband is lazy, is just using you, and doesn't want to work. Well harbors Nacho dear husband got a job. So update and Susis. Last week my mom got pissed at me and dear husband because we didn't want to send our daughter with her in her own car so he could get to spend time with her without me. According to her, she felt my husband didn't know his place to tell her she couldn't take her granddaughter. Anyway, so she sent my aunt to call me to hear my version of events. Basically the outcome of those conversations was that my husband has less rights as a father than I do as a mother. That I should allow my mother to be alone with the baby without me, even though she doesn't respect my parenting decisions. She went ahead and fed baby formula after I specifically said I wasn't feeding her formula. Her whole point was that she wouldn't do anything to hurt the baby. They wanted to give the baby honey to clean her mouth. I should stop bringing up the ongoing abuse from my mother, even though she knows I have a problem with it, but refuses to change. I should drop the baby off and leave her with my mom for hours at a time. She's a month old, which I pointed out, and she implied she knew more about kids and that wasn't a good enough reason cause that's my mom. That my daughter shouldn't have my husband's last name and should instead carry my mom's last name, my maiden name. This was a big point of contention between me and my mom. She was pissed I took my husband's last name, so when I became a doctor I would be doctor his last name. Pretty much I told my aunt after all that I'm not subjecting myself or my daughter to abuse because they refuse to change and they can't claim they don't know it's an issue. And my daughter has a father and she will carry his name. Now on to the title. A long point of contention with my family is that my husband isn't independently wealthy and wasn't working independently to just take care of me, so I didn't have to work. Since COVID we both lost our jobs, and with a baby things have been tough. He has been searching for a job and is also about to graduate with a degree in a healthcare field. They all have been down on him for not being able to get a job despite the downturn in the economy and have only been making job suggestions that are menial and intended as an insult to him. Well, yesterday he got a call and he got a job in his field and his salary will be more than both my sister and mom make. So it's going to be so amusing to me what their new complaint is when he's working and earning money. I can almost guarantee it's gonna be he's cheating on me, but I'll take this as a win and takes me one step closer to independence from my family. JustNo mother-in-law through tantrum. Now dear husband is going to visit her. JustNo mother-in-law's 60th birthday is coming up. Dear husband called his dad to ask if we should drive up there or if they were coming down here, since their rental property tenants are moving out at the end of the month. We didn't want to drive up to see them, then they drive down here to get the house ready to rent out again, because then we would get stuck with them for 2 weeks lol. At the end of August we both have to drive very far because we are moving. On the phone father-in-law was super cool and understanding. He asks JustNo mother-in-law what she would prefer. JustNo mother-in-law texts dear husband and says your father is angry at you. You need to call him. Dear husband calls him like WTF, we just talked and everything was cool. Father-in-law guilt trips dear husband by saying he only has one mom and father-in-law knows someone whose mother just died and he needs to cherish that relationship. They hang up. JustNo mother-in-law texts again and says I understand, don't worry. You guys are in transition and I understand Op has to drive far. A birthday shouldn't be an inconvenience. I tell dear husband I'm so sorry. You were trying hard to make her happy and you would have given her a great birthday. Just the four of us because of COVID. Dear husband seemed so sad. So I was angry because this lady is manipulating and guilt tripping her son who is a great son. I was pissed. Poor guy. We drop it. A week goes by and he said he's going to call her and hash it out. And I said I don't think that's a good idea. You should be strong. And she said it's okay, even though it was passive aggressive. If we don't go, if you give in to this behavior then she knows she can act this way with us. And you are condoning manipulation and guilt. He calls her anyways. And now he is driving up alone to see his parents for 5 days. I was like well aren't they coming down here later? He said he didn't know. I can't go because on Monday I have to take our kitten to the vet and it has to be that day because he needs a rabies shot. And he needs it that day or it will push our whole move back by a week. We are moving to a rabies-free island, so the pet restrictions are huge and things need to be done within a certain time window. I also made a post on her before about how this woman joked multiple times about drowning our cat or seeing if it can swim. So my cat is not getting anywhere near this woman. Now I'm torn because dear husband gave in to his mom's shiz behavior manipulation and guilt game. And now she thinks this behavior is okay and can throw a fit when she wants to get what she wants. And dear husband thinks I have something against his mom and I don't want him to see her, but it's not like that at all. I want him to see his mom, just not under manipulation. If she said cool you guys come up here from the beginning it wouldn't be an issue. Shiz guys. What do I do? I'm pretty sad about the whole thing actually. I don't really know what to do and I'm scared for the future. I'm tired of this woman honestly. JustNoMil went through my handbag. We went to his parents' house this past weekend to celebrate Father's Day with his father, my father-in-law. Fast forward to eating and it's been an hour or passive aggressive little quips and I'm getting edgy. We would have celebrated at significant other in my house, but she never behaves right at out table. She will get into arguments and screaming matches often and break a glass almost every time we've had her over. So we prefer to come here. She doesn't break her own things. Eventually we decide to leave around 2 PM to go see my dad since it is Father's Day. Mother-in-law gets so upset and dramatic over us leaving. It's your dad's day. You always spend the day with him. Before she keeps saying as we start to gather our things to go. I remind her that I also have a father that would like to see his children on Father's Day and we have spent most of the day here already. Then she wants significant other to stay behind and I'd go see my dad. I lose it because my dad and my significant other get along amazingly, sometimes even better than I get along with him. I knew my dad would be upset his significant other didn't come with, so I calmly explained that it was right nor fair to my father that I spent most of the day here and then significant other doesn't visit him. After some attempts at keeping us longer I get upset and decide to rush significant other and I out of there so we can get on our way. We get to my dad's house and I realize in my hurry to get away I left my handbag at my mother-in-law house. I call and confirm it's there. I tell her I'll come by and grab it in the morning. FFD to the next morning and I pop in around 8 AM. Mother-in-law has gone to work, so father-in-law hands me my bag. He has an uneasy and uncomfortable look when he hands it to me. Immediately I can see someone has rummaged through it. I'm a tad bit OCD about my handbag so everything has its place and the way I keep it. I look inside to see chaos. All my zips are open. I always keep them closed and the bag just looks like someone threw its contents out and put the bag in. That's when I realized I had a pipe in my bag. Hubby smokes weed, so I keep it for him in a neat Ziploc bag at the bottom of my one pouch. It's not there. I call mother-in-law and confront her about going through my personal belongings and she flips about the pipe. She goes on about me being a druggie and her son deserves better. I lost my cool just then and threw it in her face that the pipe belonged to her son and if she wasn't such a control freak about his choices in life she'd know that. It shut her up instantly and she tried to say the mints in my bag were pills. I can't help but laugh at the crazy accusation and hung up in her ear. She calls back and I don't give her a chance to speak. I told her that her pure lack of respect by going through my handbag was the last straw, and from now on we will be meeting in public areas where her behavior won't be tolerated, and in future she won't be trusted alone in our house, con or near my bag. I will be treating her like a child, since that's what she wants to act like. Where I grew up, a lady's handbag is private and personal. No one opens it without her consent. Even my husband, when we met, wasn't allowed to go through it. I feel terribly disrespected because I would never go through her handbag or her house drawers. And all those names she was so quick to call me when I don't even smoke weed like my hubby. And the claims on the mints just to make it worse. Am I overreacting? Hubby thinks I am because he says it's just who she is. But I don't feel she should be allowed to act that way towards me. Edit. Thanks for all the advice. I love the support on this group. It's amazing. And to the person who gave me an award on one comment, thanks. I've never gotten one before. Whoa, you made it to the end? Nice. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe and like. I'm a new channel, and it helps a lot more than you think. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.